Every snap is an interview.
After the Snap.
What a snap.
Hey, keep your mouth shut, 50!
I lead by example.
With Blake and Reed Ferguson, discussing life in, out, and after football.
To be able to leave walking away with a degree and a championship, it couldn't be any better.
Yeah!
Well, you can take this boy out the real south on but you can't take the real sound out of my voice. And now here we go again, twist a little bit deeper because I got thick skin.
Reed, I wanted to let you know that it was shared with me that last week when I was out, that the "let's go" at the end of your intro was lacking energy. And I went and immediately listened to the pod, and then I got a text. You and I both got a text from Caleb that said that you could be a smooth jazz radio host, like at nighttime. Are you giving Delilah a run for her money?
I will if the opportunity presents itself. Do I get a chance to argue on my behalf?
Totally.
Dad was sleeping in the next room.
Okay, I was gonna guess Blakely, but
she's upstairs.
Tell Dad to stay up an extra 45 minutes.
Well, he was watching. Let's see, when was it? It was Thursday, so he was watching the football game, or he had the football game on. We were in there. I had put Blakely down. He was asleep. He was falling asleep. So I was trying to
be respectful. Got it.
Peace. I realized as I kept going and I kind of felt myself. Give me some credit.
You crushed it. 35, 40 minutes of talking by yourself.
Yes. I always go back to Clay. We had him on the pod. He earlier on in his radio career, when I used to listen to him on Fox Sports Radio, maybe, I don't even know, 8 years ago.
Were you in college?
Yeah. No, like 6 years ago, probably 5 or 6 years ago. And he used to always talk about how hard it is to do 3 hours of radio. Now, given it's about 2 hours live with commercial breaks and stuff like that. But 2 hours Monday through Friday. And that's just mind-boggling. Like, after doing a 35-minute podcast episode by myself, where I did probably more extensive notes than I ever have with me and you, just because it's less conversational. It's definitely challenging, but I'm glad I got through it. I did get, I appreciate your feedback.
You crushed it.
I did hear from a few other people that said that I did as Daddy Bob would put it, a swell job. So I appreciate it. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to doing it again sometime soon.
Well, it's good to be back, and it's good to know that you're looking forward to the next time that I'm not on the pod with you.
Well, that came off the wrong way. I'm just saying, next time it happens,
I can log off if you'd rather.
I will be better prepared. You could log off right now, and I think I could do the fill-in, because we just got off with Wes Schelling, long snapper for the Vanderbilt Commodore. So most of this episode is already recorded and spoken for, but I will allow you to stay on.
I feel like I need to stay on.
Last weekend.
I feel like I need to stay on because it is Thanksgiving week. And
yes, it is.
When this episode is gracing the ears of our listeners, hopefully gracing, it will be Turkey Day. And
yes,
you will be waking up bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, coffee in hand, ready to take on the Detroit Lions. We will get to that momentarily.
Yes, we will.
But I think first we need to address some Thanksgiving must-haves, because I feel like this is a big debate on an annual basis, what should and what shouldn't be at the Thanksgiving dinner table. But Let's go. You give your 3
Okay.
Thanksgiving must-haves, and then I will give mine.
Number 1, right from the top, turkey.
Okay.
Gotta have turkey at Thanksgiving. It is a staple, obviously, of the holiday. Number 2, and I'm going in reverse order, 3 being the most important item at my Thanksgiving table. Number 2, sweet potato casserole with marshmallows on top. That's a must. And the marshmallows have to be browned over. Not completely, but they got to be, give me a little char on there. Okay. Feel me?
Yep.
Feel me?
We need a good sear.
Number 3, and for all the people that know me all too well listening to this podcast, you probably know what I'm going to say here. Number 3, the most important thing at my Thanksgiving table, jellied cranberry sauce. I'm talking about, you pop the can.
Still got the ridges in the
You
side
pop
of
the
it from the
can,
can.
it's still got the red ridges, and you pop it on your plate, and it just sits there and it goes like this. For those of you listening and not watching on YouTube, I was just
He was doing
wiggling my.
He was doing the Jalen Waddle touchdown.
Yes, I was waddling. I was like where it jiggles on your plate.
Amazing. That's 3 really strong.
I can't
must
wait
haves.
to hear and see if you have anything better.
Yeah. So
if I had a 4th.
Wait, whoa.
Okay,
Whoa.
you go first. You go first, and then I have a 4th.
Okay. Number 1, must have is, and this is in order of importance. I don't know why you went backwards, but
For suspense.
So number 1 must have is, I'm not teasing this. Sweet potato casserole. Now, number one, have to have it. I'm not showing up if it's not there.
Okay.
Or I'm showing up and I'm bringing it with me.
Sounds like the Michael Scott.
If it's not there, I send it back.
Send it back.
I love that we both knew exactly what you're talking about.
Of course.
So sweet potato casserole, but I'm going half marshmallow, half cinnamon sugar pecan crust. So one of my favorite spots to eat at when we go on the road to different cities is Ruth's Chris, right? So when you play the Jets, go walk next door to the hotel, go to Ruth's Chris sweet potato casserole with the pecan cinnamon sugar crust on top is one of the probably top 5 foods I've ever put in my mouth.
Wow.
Every time. And it's amazing. Every single time. Doesn't matter where you are. It's fire. People go there.
I think I'm more impressed that you go to Ruth Chris this often.
I mean, not that often, but on a
when the opportunity
not regular,
itself.
semi-regular basis, when there is one decently close and no other good restaurants around our hotel. Number 2, mac and cheese.
Okay.
Oven baked mac and cheese with the cheese on top.
Okay. Following.
And then number 3 is, and I'm literally doing this off the top of my head. I'm gonna go with Aunt Dina's homemade cranberry sauce.
Okay.
Now
I can get on board.
I'm only going that way because I know that she is a prime listener of our pod. That's not the only reason I'm going that way.
Indeed.
But I'm also going that way because you already said the jellied cranberry sauce, which generally I would prefer. And Dina always had both there, and I was
going to say, if there's both, I would eat both.
Yes, but hers is like the bowl of it with like whole cranberries, like kind of smashed into it, and it is fire. Absolutely fire. All right, let's go. So one more for you.
If
and
I had a
then
fourth,
let's go favorite.
if I
dessert.
needed a fill in,
We gotta
okay.
have
Well,
dessert,
this
too.
is my favorite dessert.
Okay, so there you go.
Pumpkin pie.
Whipped cream on top.
Of course.
A dollop.
What are we sipping
on? This is actually some
Sweet
yellow
tea.
This is Yellowstone limited edition.
Oh,
2022.
Have you seen episode 2
and 3?
I'm caught up, baby.
Oh, 3. 1 and 2.
Yeah,
and
1
then
and
3
2
was
came
this
out last
That's
week.
right.
3 came out. Yep.
Yes, correct. Okay, you're all caught up. So
All
are we. We
caught
watched
up.
last night.
Yeah, so this is I've had Yellowstone 2021 limited edition, which is also fire, but the 2022 just hit Total One like last week or the week before. Picked up a bottle of it. Very tasty.
Fantastic.
Very tasty. So, pumpkin pie for you with a dollop of whipped cream.
A healthy dollop.
Healthy dollop. My favorite dessert is going to be pecan pie.
Okay.
And it's going to be heated up a little bit so that it's kind of runny on the inside.
Okay.
And that's it. It stands alone. Is that something that is pecan pie something that people would put a scoop of vanilla ice cream with?
You could. It doesn't happen often.
Yeah. Okay. It doesn't need to be.
I'd say that's more of an apple pie thing.
Apple pie. Okay.
Yeah.
Also love apple pie. Aunt Dina used to do a really good apple pie with the girls. They would oh yeah. What would they do? They would like hide a shape inside of the crust or something.
I think so. Yeah. They would do like a bee or something.
Like a cookie cutter crust shape on top.
Yeah.
Outstanding. So that is our Thanksgiving must-haves. Let us know what your 3 Thanksgiving must-haves and potentially your favorite dessert are on our social media at After the Snap Pod on Twitter, at After the Snap Pod on Instagram. We will post a little Turkey Day prompt to let us know what you all think. So Reed, we are coming off of a bye. The Miami Dolphins are coming off of a bye, but I want to get into y'all's game here quickly before we get into our After the Snap Clutch Snap of the Week. So this is a hilarious story to me because Dad flies up to Buffalo
hold on. He flies up on
Wednesday
night.
Yep.
Because all the forecasts say the storm should be starting Thursday afternoon, evening is when it starts to roll in.
Didn't want to have any kind of issues getting up there.
Correct.
So he just went.
He was supposed to come up on Saturday.
Yeah. What was it originally
in Buffalo?
What was it originally forecasted for snowfall levels?
There was if you looked at the percentages,
okay,
like 2 to 3 feet was like 50%.
Okay. And
3 to 4 was like 35%. And then some lower than that was like 5% or something.
Okay.
5 to 6 feet was 1% chance.
And that's what you got.
We ended up with 80 inches of snow. And for those counting at home, 5 feet is 60, 6 feet is 72. So we were almost at 7 feet of snow.
Or 6 feet, 8 inches.
6 feet, 8 inches.
Holy
we were
cow.
almost at 7 feet of snow. So
Dad goes up there.
Surpassed the expectations.
So Dad goes up there Wednesday.
Pure bonkers.
And he gets there. It starts snowing Thursday.
Yep.
And is that when they announced we're moving the game to Detroit?
Correct.
So he's already up there. They announced, hey, we're moving it to Detroit.
On Wednesday evening, I want to say he came up Tuesday.
No, I was with him on Tuesday night.
You were with him on Tuesday.
Yeah,
okay,
he came up Wednesday because we were going to dinner, and he missed out on dinner
evening
in Atlanta.
He said, or maybe it was Wednesday evening. He said there's rumblings that they might move the game. And I hadn't heard that at all. There was nothing. It was purely a rumor at that point.
Is this at Buffalo Rumblings?
I have no idea.
Terrible.
We'll speak on Buffalo Rumblings later in the pod. But sorry, lost my train of thought. Thursday comes around, practice, everything goes fine. We find out that afternoon, shortly after practice was over, that the game has been moved to Detroit for Sunday because so much snow is expected that Friday night and all day Friday, basically.
You know how much it has to snow to move a game out of Buffalo?
Yes.
Like that's what y'all do. Like
yes.
your life for
yes.
half the year is snow. And
yes.
Wow. So am I tripping, or is it called a thunder snow?
There is
term?
Yeah. That is, and it happened. It did happen.
A snow hurricane.
It's like a snow thunderstorm type deal. It doesn't, not like a hurricane where it's like super, super windy. It is windy, obviously, like this, but there's snow drifts that happen that, blows from one side to the other, that it looks much higher than what actually comes down. But I mean, it was just bananas watching it come down. I mean, it snowed from Thursday evening. It started about 8:00 and it didn't stop until, gosh, I don't even know, Saturday morning. I woke up and it was sunny. And then Saturday night, it snowed a little bit more, maybe 4 or 5 inches, I think. And it hasn't snowed since then, but it was just been, I mean,
That's
thankfully Erica reminded me to keep the generator clear, because a lot of our neighbors had an issue with their backup generators. By the way, for those people in Buffalo, if you are looking for something to invest in, a backup generator is legitimately worth its weight in gold. That thing kicked on like 8 times Friday throughout the day, because we were losing power for 5 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 6
Crazy.
hours over Friday night into Saturday morning. So I had to keep the generator clear so it could vent out. The furnace tube sticking out of the back of the house had to be cleared out, because if that is covered,
set the house on fire.
It'll just shut the furnace off, because it doesn't have anywhere to exhaust the fumes. I guess, if that's the right terminology. So a lot of people were having heater issues. Uncover your furnace tubes and it go right back. Just crazy, just like it was that much snow. Like
that's insane. Dude.
Those tubes are a couple feet off the ground, and you're just like, when would it ever snow this much? But
so a question that I was getting from a lot of the people, because a lot of people were asking me, hey, do you like how's everything going on in Buffalo? Like, how much snow did they get? Let me see pictures. The next question was, what did the dogs do?
They Luna loves the snow.
Okay.
She would spend all day in the snow. She just jumps in and out of the snow.
Does she like going to the bathroom in the snow?
Doesn't mind it.
Was the question.
Doesn't mind it. But I did have to clear a walking path for them to use the restroom.
Okay.
But yeah, Luna loves it. Buck hates it. He just doesn't want to do it. He actually didn't go number 2 until like Friday night.
Holy cow.
He just
like a day and a half,
like a whole day. He just didn't, and it didn't bother him. He just like chilling inside, like whatever. But I was like, all right, dude, it's time. Like, I know you need to like relieve yourself. So I cleared out, like I dug down. It took me like 20 minutes. I dug all the way down to the grass. And there was like literally like this much grass for him to sniff, and he pooped right there. I did it last year, like, so I knew it was like foolproof way to get him to do it.
That's hilarious.
But He's so funny. But yeah, it was crazy. And then traveling, obviously on all day Friday, I was out on the driveway with Dad. We were, clearing my truck off a couple times, snow blowing a couple times, just trying to minimize what we woke up to on Saturday morning, because I knew that I'd have to be I'd have to be able to get out and get myself to the facility at some point on Saturday. So just go. I mean, we probably spent a total of 4 or 5 hours outside on Friday throughout the day, shoveling and snow blowing and shoveling and snow blowing and wiping the car off and moving the car up and back and clearing this, clearing the front, clearing the garage, clearing the sidewalk so you could walk to the front door or whatever. Clearing my mailbox. It was 2 feet under snow, dude. I'm telling you, it's bananas.
Don't they put the things on the fire hydrants?
So they put stakes in the ground. People, where they plow,
so that they don't get hit by the
plows. Don't hit. Yep, those stakes were completely covered, and it wasn't even close.
Oh no,
not even close. If there wasn't a truck in my driveway, you would have no idea how wide the driveway was.
That's insane.
You'd have no idea. So needless to say, just a crazy experience.
So you get out of town,
go to Detroit. It was fantastic. First off, because they Detroit was so welcoming. They did a great job. The team, the Bills, posted about tickets on Friday, and they sold like 50,000 in a day, or 56,000 or something like that. And obviously some of those were Browns fans buying as well, but it was a great showing for changing the location of the game 2.5 days prior to kickoff. So very cool.
Did it feel like mostly Bills fans?
Definitely.
In the stadium?
Definitely. Our home sideline, the visitor side, had to have been 90+% Bills.
Okay.
Pockets of Browns fans. The sides were a good mix, probably 60-40 Bills.
In the
their sideline.
In the end zones.
The end zones. And then their sideline was mostly Browns, but a healthy amount of Bills fans as well on their sideline even. So It was definitely, Bills fans definitely showed out. It was just a crazy experience. But glad we got the win. Came out pretty much unscathed. I know you being a PA rep, that turf in Detroit is one of the fields that the PA and players have brought up having issues with. So certainly something that I was just thinking about, just because, we all that stuff had come out after we played at the Jets a few weeks ago. So that's kind of all I got. We're back there.
We're going right back to Detroit.
We're recording this on Tuesday. Exactly. We're recording this on Tuesday night. And Wednesday afternoon we'll be jet setting back to Detroit. For primetime Thanksgiving. So be pretty cool. This will be we're playing in the early slot this year. Last year we were the late game on Thanksgiving. 2019 we were the middle game in Dallas. So I will have completed the trio of Thanksgiving kickoffs come Thursday afternoon.
Our Ferguson family is incredibly familiar with the Detroit to Buffalo, Buffalo to Detroit flight.
Yes.
As our parents flew from Detroit to Buffalo.
Yes.
You just flew there and back. Now you're getting ready to go there and back again. Dad flew from Buffalo to Detroit to be at the game.
He didn't. He drove.
He drove. I thought he flew.
He was going to.
Couldn't get out.
But they canceled his flight right when he got to the airport. So he got a rental car and drove to Detroit.
Had no idea. I thought he flew. Did he just go through Canada?
No, he didn't have his passport.
Oh man.
It's 4 hours to go through Canada, and it's like 6.5, 7 hours to go through America. So
Just all the way around the lake.
All the way
Man,
around the lake.
that's
But
tough.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I want to just touch on. So we were on bye this past week. Great rest and just time to get away mentally. I went to Atlanta for a couple days, and then Abby and I met up in Baton Rouge, which was a lot of fun. Went to the LSU game. It was frigid and
Yeah, I saw that.
raining.
You had a long sleeve and a jacket on.
Dude, I had
In Baton Rouge. That's
I had a
when you know.
flannel. I had a
Yes.
flannel with a Sherpa lined like corduroy jacket, and then like on the sideline, on top of that I threw on my Letterman jacket so that my corduroy like wouldn't get wet. It was like the leather like was keeping it just kind of rainproof. It was frigid. We were so cold. And fortunately they put us in a suite for the actual game, but like pregame, like I was one of the guest captains, which was incredible. You know, it was an incredible honor, but standing there for an hour on the sideline in pregame, you're like, man, it would be really nice to have some of those sideline heaters out here right now.
Doubt.
Which I think they had. I just don't think they had them on yet because the game wasn't being played yet. So yeah, it was a good time, but we are back at it this Sunday at home versus the Houston Texans at 1 p.m. So really looking forward to getting back at it, and it is good to be back on the pod. So
absolutely.
But with that, let's get to our week 11 after the snap clutch snap of the week. For the week, drum roll please. Can't hear that. Anyway, this week's after the snap clutch snap of the week goes to Wesley Schelling, long snapper for the Vanderbilt Commodores. Wesley scored a touchdown.
Yes, he did.
On a muffed punt against the Florida Gators this past week.
Who they beat.
Always fun to beat Florida, even when they're on a down year. It's always a big deal. Congratulations to Wesley. And actually, he's getting ready to join us. Let's pop over to an interview. And joining us now on After the Snap is the man himself, Wesley Schelling. Wesley, first of all, thank you for joining us. And congratulations on being our After the Snap clutch snap of the week for week 11.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
I think
Wesley, thanks for joining us, man.
I think this is actually our first time having the clutch snap of the week winner on the pod. So this is a lot of fun for us. I hope it is for you as well.
Absolutely. It's an honor.
Our first live award giveaway.
Yes.
That is correct. Our first live announcement.
I'll take it.
That's
fantastic.
Right. So Wesley, what's it like living out every long snapper's dream? I know when I was in high school thinking about, you know, what I wanted to do in my football career, it was score a touchdown on a muffed or a fumble or something. What's it like, man?
I mean, it's great. When the play happened and I scored, the ref told me, "Hey, you got it, touchdown, Vandy." I was like, "Oh boy!" It took me about 10 seconds to process it. I just scored a touchdown, but I mean, yeah, just the dream unfolded. It's like, I mean, that's my first ever career touchdown, by the way. I played O-line and D-line in high school as well, so never had a chance to score on the offensive side. But yeah, just a great, absolute, like, stellar moment. I've visualized a moment like that. I mean, you guys are snappers. I mean,
I think we all
visualization. Yeah. Visualization's big just for snapping.
Absolutely.
But I've been visualizing that probably 6 to 7 years now. So that's been absolutely great.
So going back and watching when Blake, I think Blake may have tweeted out the video or sent it to me, one or the other. And I was watching it. I was like, and I saw you come in. I had to watch it a couple times. I was like, okay, where does he come in? Where does he? You were not the first one on the pile.
Yeah.
Tell me how it worked out because on the video from the side angle, there's not really a good angle you can see where you can see the ball like pop out to you.
Yeah,
or at least that I've seen on like TV copies. So so you got to the pile. Tell me where it went from there.
Yeah, so snapped the ball, ran down the field. Nobody was on me. And I'm running down, see him muff it. And, we run. And if on the TV broadcast, you can see it. I actually thought our gunner, number 83, Gamarian Carter, I thought he scored a touchdown because I threw my hands up there. Hey, touchdown. We just scored. I'm like 10 yards away. And then I see, I believe the Florida player like hits his arm or something, and the ball pops out in between his legs. And then I kept running and I saw that and I was like, oh boy, the ball's loose. And then I just jumped in there and kind of had the perfect angle because I kind of went to the side and jumped in there. And nobody had the ball yet because it was stuck in between his legs. And so he didn't have possession of it and nobody else did. And so I go in, had my hands kind of around one of his legs and the ball in between both of my hands.
Whatever it takes, baby.
I held
That's
on.
amazing.
Held on
That's
for
amazing.
dear life. And man, I'm sitting there and I couldn't even tell you who was around me. I saw afterwards it was all Vandy guys, but I mean, oh boy, I held on. And then, the refs like, Vandy touchdown, you got the ball. And I got up, had to show the crowd the ball.
Of course.
That's a Schelling household.
That was going to be
rule.
my next question was I saw that like field level video and it looked like you were looking at the other sideline, like giving them a little bit of show me some respect. I get down to the ball too.
Yeah. I got up, showed everybody the ball, and then after that, I was like, "Oh boy, I gotta go snap the extra."
I gotta
point.
snap a PAT.
Yeah, but I don't know what this was. I vaguely remember doing that, but I was trying to get my boys pumped up.
Your subconscious.
Our head coach, Coach Lee, is all about recycling positive energy. So I was like, "Hey, give it back to the boys."
Love that. So last year you were credited with 1 tackle. Please tell me you remember it.
Yes,
they come few and far between for us. So anytime we get one on the stat sheet, you gotta memorize it. For those who don't know that are listening, that's a pretty big deal. Long snapper is usually not the first one down the field, especially at the NFL level with blocking responsibilities and stuff like that. What is your mentality? I know you spoke about your visualization and stuff a few minutes ago. What is your mentality like after you snap to get down the field and be in the vicinity of the returner?
Just run as fast as you can, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I mean, it's just my whole entire thing is, hustle takes no talent. So, you're going to use that and just, hustle every single play. My coach talks about when you get down there, shoot your shot. Don't wait for him to make a move. You take the first shot if you're down there. And so that's my mentality. And then, obviously game plan each week, knowing if they're going to put somebody on me or not. And I watch film on those guys, try to mix them up a little bit. But, at the end of the day, those guys are very athletic and it's hard to beat them, but you got a pretty good game plan going in.
There's a saying in the NFL that they get paid too. Yeah, I know it's not, the college level. You got a little bit of that now with the NIL stuff, but from the when you're on a team and you're hoping you get some calls and you're hoping things go your way all the time and the other team makes some plays and hey, those guys are making money too, and they're going to make some plays. So that's funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So Wesley, you're from Nashville. Tell us what it's like getting to play for your hometown team as a Nashville native.
I mean, it's a dream come true. I played at Pearl-Cohn High School just around the corner. Kind of grew up. I mean, born and raised here. Grew up a Vandy fan, went to basketball games and football games all the time, and grew up a Vandy fan, kind of went through the recruiting process. And, they're like, I went to the camp, did pretty good. And the special teams coach was like, hey, we're going to offer you a scholarship to come long snap here. You want to come? And I was like, yeah, pretty no brainer.
Yeah.
So,
No thought. No thought taken for that one.
Oh yeah.
Did you commit on the spot?
Yes, I did. I'd
Amazing.
That's fantastic.
I remember the head coach at the time, Coach Mason, had given me a call after a high school practice, actually telling me that they were going to offer me, and I was like, I commit. I was, I kind of knew I was wanted to go there no matter what. So it was a dream come true, and here we are 3 years later.
Well, Wes, before we get into, we like to end our interviews with some short snaps. They're just quick fire questions, yes or no. Let the audience get to know you a little bit. I wanted to congratulate you first off on a few things that Blake and I are familiar with from our playing days. You are on the Pat Manley Award list for this season, as well as the Phil Steele preseason All SEC list. Two fantastic nominations. So just wanted to congratulate you on that. I think, and I'm certainly not tooting our horn here. I think Blake, you obviously won the Patrick Manley Award. No, you didn't.
No,
you
the
won
Pat
the
Manley
Rubio
Award.
You won the Rubio Award.
Correct. Yeah, Pat Manley Award. I did not win. That was the first year they did that was my senior year, and I didn't win it. But
who did? Was it?
I believe
Liam?
It was Shannon.
Yeah,
at Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame. Yeah, it was a Notre Dame.
Oh,
snapper.
that's right.
John
Okay.
Shannon.
Oh, that's right. Okay, and then were you on Phil Steele?
Yes.
I think we were both on Phil Steele maybe a few times. So congratulations to you, Wes. That's big time. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
a few short snaps we'll get into. I think I added a few as I was thinking, but we've got 7 or 8 on here. So what are you studying at Vanderbilt?
Computer engineering.
Fantastic. What has been your favorite away stadium to play in thus far?
Man, it's a tie between Alabama and the Swamp.
Ooh, I thought you would say
the Swamp is definitely.
No, I love the Swamp. Just when you walk in, it's directly up. I mean, I remember walking in, I was like, oh boy, like it's sickening to look at the Jumbotron there.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites for sure.
I remember when I played at Florida, we played there 2 years in a row because of the hurricanes. We ended up playing at home 2 years in a row. Anyway, when we played there in 2018, Joe Burrow threw a pick 6 to basically seal the game for Florida, and it felt like there were 300,000 people in the stands. It was insanely loud, like one of the loudest moments in probably top 3 moments in my whole career. It felt like there were just people just for miles in the stadium. It was crazy.
We played them on their homecoming game last year, and oh boy, I mean, just before the kickoff, you're out there and it's like, wow, I can't hear anybody on the sideline. I mean, you're just like there. And it's like, wow, this is college football at its best.
Absolutely. So parlay that question into your least favorite away stadium.
Least favorite. I don't really. We're saying SEC.
Anywhere you played, like where's the place you dislike going the most? Like for me, is Auburn, just because one year we got the locker room's terrible. One year they threw corn dogs at us on the sideline, so not one of my favorite places.
I'd say it was NIU this season, Northern Illinois.
Interesting.
Because our away games were Hawaii. Hawaii was a smaller stadium, but it's Hawaii, so that was pretty
be a cool trip. Yeah.
But NIU, just a different kind of. It's in DeKalb, Illinois, and it was just weird. And what really didn't help it out was the smallest away locker room I've ever been in my life. I mean, you could barely move in that locker room.
Not ideal. What are a few songs or artists on your pregame playlist?
My pregame playlist. Drake is on there.
Okay.
Meek Mill. Who else we got? It's a rotational plan because it's really whoever's
the kid from Nashville doesn't have country music on his playlist. It breaks my heart, man.
I have one, I believe it's Crazy Town by Jason Aldean. That's the one I listen to a lot. It's also because they play it at our stadium. It's one of the commercials they play play it all the time, and you just like you get used to listening to it. So that's the one country song I have on there and listen to consistently.
Outstanding. What is your favorite place to go get your post game meal for home games?
Home games.
Do you have a go-to spot?
Yeah, I'll say Pizza Perfect. It's on campus, kind of local, kind of just nice, greasy type pizza that I like, and family. I believe it's family owned, and just very, very good pizza. I'll just go there and eat that pizza, and I'll be like, man, that was it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. After Saturday, I went there and I was like, I'm getting myself a couple pieces of pizza tonight.
Was it free? Did they treat you?
No. It wasn't free.
Come on.
No, you should have brought him the game ball and said, hey, I scored this touchdown. Give me my free slice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Pepperoni. What are we talking? Pepperoni, meat lovers. What are we?
Pepperoni most of the time, but second place would just be overall meat lovers.
Classic. I love it. Halftime snack.
Halftime snack. Typically not a halftime snack guy that much. Typically it's just straight Gatorade. But we did have hot chocolate at halftime of this last game, and conveniently when that touchdown had happened was right before the half. And so I'm pumped up, and everybody's pumped up going into the locker room, and I got in there and they had chicken broth, hot chocolate, and of course all of like the fruit snacks and stuff. And I was like, I'm grabbing a hot chocolate today. It's also like 29 degrees.
Oh, yikes. So this next question kind of mixed in with the halftime snack. We had a Sunday night game in Kansas City last season, and there was some chatter. We had a long rain delay at halftime, so the Michelle Tafoya, who was the sideline reporter, was in our hallway. We were talking about, a couple of guys were talking about the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that they had for us, and that there was too much peanut butter. Said the ratio is all off. The peanut butter on the sandwich is too thick. So I need to ask you, what is your ideal, if you are making the sandwich, your ideal peanut butter to jelly ratio? Let's hear it.
And by the way, I've heard this question before because I've listened to the podcast enough.
Love it. Let's go.
Friend of the pod. Let's go.
Definitely thought about this. I'm going 65% jelly and 35% peanut butter. So.
Nice. We had
jelly.
Yeah, we've been asking this question for over a year now to I think every single one of our guests that's come on.
Since week 5 of last season.
Yes.
Nice.
And we had a strong run. The first half of our guests probably were dominant peanut butter. They were peanut butter at least 50%. And I don't know what happened, but after the season, kind of this whole off season, everything shifted. We had a couple guys, Isaiah McKenzie, Josh Allen, Gabe Davis, Waddle was on. Couple other guys,
jelly guys,
Javon Holland, heavy, like 60 plus jelly. So it's fantastic. That's funny that you say that. Okay, so last question.
Sugar rush, man. That's sugar rush.
It is. You need there's anywhere between 60-40 each way. I think you can live with. Once you go north of 60 peanut butter, you gotta like drink some water every mid bite.
I think I told you this a couple weeks ago. We had a coach tell me he's 80-20 peanut butter.
No,
he said that is psychopath.
You might as well not put jelly on the sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Thank you. That's ridiculous.
That should be
clip that. Tell Caleb to clip that. So last question, and then we'll wrap it up. Your Thanksgiving must-haves. Let's hear your top 2 or 3 Thanksgiving must-haves.
I'll go number 1, pecan pie for dessert.
Okay.
That's number 1 for sure. My mom always has that, so
I was going to ask you if there's a large number of people out there that like store-bought over homemade.
I would agree with
that is a thing.
Yeah. We go store bought, so I'm always down for that. Next after that, I mean, just a typical. I have to have mac and cheese. I mean,
Come on.
I can't
Love it.
go without that.
We're
It's
two
always
for
at
two
our
here.
Oh yeah, it's always at our pregame meals and or the night before dinner. So I go with mac and cheese, and then after that, mashed potatoes with gravy. So
Okay,
Nice.
fair enough. So are you ham or turkey?
ham,
Nice.
going ham. Yeah.
Let's go. Love it. Love it.
I think objectively, everybody would tell you that ham is better than turkey.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know.
think-
I was talking to a few people today.
I think if you're talking outside of Thanksgiving, if you're talking ham and turkey side by side, solely based on experience when eating it, I know turkey's better for you and whatever. Ham is going to win side by side 10 times out of 10. And I could be way off on that, like amongst the general public, but I feel like that's probably the case with everybody. Would y'all agree with that?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I'd say maybe not 10 out of 10, but probably I'll set the over under at 8.
That's strong. Strong.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah.
Wesley, thank you so much again for joining us today. This has been a ton of fun for us. Congratulations on your touchdown. Congratulations on your after the snap clutch snap of the week award.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Good luck against the Tennessee Vols this weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Well, another big thank you to Wesley for joining us today. Super well-spoken young man. I've never met him before. I don't think you have either, but really excited to continue watching his career. Hopefully gets a shot at playing in the National Football League at some point. I believe he's a junior, so
Yes.
maybe another season in the college ranks and be joining us in the NFL. So congratulations again to him. And that's a wrap on this week's episode of After the Snap. Happy Turkey Day. Go loosen your belts or put on some elastic waistbands, baby.
There you go.
It's time to grub. This has been After the Snap, tales from two brothers who live life upside down.